Hello everybody, I'm Cindy Halpern, and this is January 4th, and I want to remember the people that are no longer here with me. I want to remember my mom, and my stepfather Frank, and my Uncle Abe, my Aunt Mina, my father, my two brothers, my sister, and my Holocaust friends who have passed away. I've said a lot about my mom and the legacy that she's left me, being a doer, getting legislation passed, and her commitment to my brothers and to my daughter and my grandson. My stepfather Frank, I began to have a better relationship the last few years. When my mom got severe dementia, he was declining, and we began to know each other a little better, and he considered me a helper. My Uncle Abe, of course, took me to Vienna for the first time and gave me like the finer things in life that my father had no time for, because of muscular dystrophy and the family and his work and my father's depression. Uncle Abe, you know, for my 3rd birthday, had my whole class have us come for supper, my two brothers, of course, too. And Uncle Abe was a wonderful man. He was like a second father to me. My brother Stewie, I know people talk about soulmates and love, but I think you have soulmates that are non-romantic, and I think Stewie was my soulmate. We spent a lot of time together to his death. And of course, my brother Russell was very sociable. He and I didn't see eye to eye about everything, but he was really a nice guy, and he loved sports. And my sister Nita, not so much. She was retarded, and she was, I guess, jealous of me because I had a strong relationship with my dad. And I think at the end of her life, she began to appreciate that I tried to help her a bit. My mother's parents I never really knew. I would have liked to have known them, especially my grandfather. He had a lot of history to offer me. My father's parents, I knew them a little better, but not that well, really. My Aunt Regina, I never knew at all. I would have liked to have known her. She was a hard-working woman. She died at 48. She helped my mom a lot. And, of course, my Uncle Leo died of muscular dystrophy in Vienna. My Aunt Clara died at 21 in Vienna in the Steinhof. She was put away in an institution, I guess because she was retarded, and that's what they did in those days. But I've studied them all and learned through their death certificates and records from Vienna some of their lives, not as much as I would possibly want. My friend Aaron Trockenberg, who owned a textile place next to where my ex-husband David used to work. He was the 2nd generation and a good friend. And Hans Hyman was also a very good friend to me. He was from Vienna originally and escaped through Italy and had my mother's story, except he didn't know my mom. I found out about him through the pages of the Jewish Herald. That's how I found him. Laura Cable, of course. She led the 2nd generation in Rhode Island. She's passed away. She died of cancer. We're very sorry we've lost her. She was a very valuable member. And as I think of all these people, of course, I think of their legacies and what their lives have meant to me, the little or great impact that that they had on my life, and how I carry that forward in what I do. And I like to think, you know, in my 2nd generation activities, that I attend things, I write about them. I went to Poland to see Treblinka because my relatives died in Treblinka. My mother's aunt and uncle and 4 cousins, I only knew about them through their deaths, basically. I didn't get to know too much about their everyday lives, really. And I feel like that's a great loss to me. I would like to know more. I'm always looking to know more about the Holocaust. It's a big part of who I am. And so I guess in that I have to remember the 6 million people who were murdered, the Jews, especially the 1.5 million children, especially them. I can only know them through glimpses of going to Auschwitz and Birkenau, and the glimpses of Majdanek, Treblinka, going to Lublin Academy of Torah. Some of them had been Torah scholars, I guess, that were murdered. Just glimpses, Krakow, my travels to Vienna, and my travels to Germany, Switzerland and Holland, Anne Frank house in Holland, and just get a glimpse of all these people who died in the Holocaust. I can only have a small glimpse of what their lives were, so we have to remember them, in this new year. And hopefully I don't lose anybody this year. My daughter was very ill towards the end of last year, but fortunately she's come through that. I'm very grateful for that. My friend Dan, who's very ill with ALS, I don't know what the outcome will be with him. I'm worried about him. Of course, I love him and miss him and wish him the best. So I don't really know what's happening too much there, except he's in a facility, a long-term care facility, and he's been given medication to try to turn him around. We'll see if that happens or not. I don't know. And I want to take this chance to be grateful for what I have, to my boyfriend Ted, who gives me a roof over my head, which is really important. My friend Andrea Belanger here on Long Island, who's helped me a lot with second-generation activities. Donna, that I met on the trip, she's an Episcopal priest, she's a good friend. And Rhonda, of course. And my really good friend Rose Vieira, my longtime special friend. She means a lot to me. And my new friends on Facebook, that Gina and Ronnie, close Facebook friends, Reema, of course, and a lot of Facebook friends, and Luke and Allison, and I'm grateful for all these people, of course. Asher and Anna I met on the trip to Poland. Grateful for them. Grateful for all my friends on Facebook. If I didn't mention you, I'm sorry. It's a short time to mention here. But in my grief, I'm also grateful, and I want to let people know that I am grateful for everything that they've done for me, or everything that they will do for me in the future. I deeply appreciate that. And Reema, I'm glad you're back to work. She suffered an injury. Now she's gone back to work more recently, so I'm glad that she's better. Gina Adlon, I'm glad you're better. And your boyfriend Dan, I'm glad you're all better. To name a few people. Luke, keep posting. I enjoy your posts. So that's basically it. Thank you. Have a good day.